This is kind of bothering me. I really do look so red. How do I fix that?
Did I just give you?
Now I have a
Actually,
complex. I'm
now
like,
you have a
every time I like
complex.
catch a view of myself, I'm like, why are you a lobster? Like, God damn, it's really bad. We got to
I
talk
just gave
about
you a
red
complex,
representation.
right? Lobster lives matter.
So bad. I really shouldn't be allowed anywhere near the equator, is what I'm thinking.
I watched that fascinating video about like why we have why at one point every single human being on the planet was black
Mm-hmm.
and why the skin changed. It was a fascinating conversation. I knew part of it. It's about melatonin, obviously, but it's a lot
Melanin.
deep. Yes, melanin. Sorry, but it's a lot deeper. It's not just melanin. It has to do with vitamin D and the absorption of vitamin D, which again, melanin plays a huge role in. But yeah, it's like as we moved further and further north because of ice age melting. So it's like fascinating how your geography and climate change will affect how you live. And like these people don't believe that, but it's like a
Mm-hmm.
scientific fact. And if you just like trust the science, like it shows this, right? Like it literally just shows this. As people moved, as ice melted after the ice age and people moved more north, uh, our absorption of the sun needed to be a lot more. The reason we have so much higher level of melanin because the sun constantly shines and you can't absorb that much vitamin D because it becomes harmful to you, right? But as more darker skinned people traveled further up north, the sunlight was just that much less, right? Because just the angle in the day, like in
Yeah.
some parts of like further up north, the sun hardly ever comes out, and for the portion of the year, it doesn't come out. So your need to absorb vitamin D was just much more because without vitamin D, your bones go brittle. So like kids, like eventually will, um, eh, darker skinned kids at that period would just die very young, and then lighter skinned kids would just continue
Be
to
able
stay
to absorb
alive longer because they absorbed
that.
more vitamin D. Um, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew. So the more whiter skin you have, the more vitamin D you're able to absorb. Um, and that's how white skin came to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
think
not
I've
like you're
definitely heard
superior or anything. It's
that
just you
before.
needed more vitamin D.
Right. It's like it's literally just your body
You
adapting
just
to
needed
not
to
die.
survive for that
Like,
environment. Like it's
yeah.
just the environment. Your
Just
body
like
changed.
anything else. Like it's like
Right. Just
you
like
don't
anything else.
yeah, I don't know.
Like,
But
and it's factual too. Like if you take like any furry animal, right? If you shave their fur off, majority of the time, their skin is very pale compared to their fur.
yeah.
It's because their fur it kept them, they didn't need vitamin D like as much, so that they evolved fur to protect them from the sun.
Right.
We used to have a lot of fur if you looked at Neanderthals and stuff like that, but our hunting habits, evolved. Instead of hunting for or hunting using speed, we started using something called preservation hunting, right? Like for longer distance of time. That's where we changed from monkeys. Our brains much bigger as we evolved,
Mm-hmm.
and our body became that much less heavier because we wanted to be able to run for longer. So we couldn't have fur because we needed to be able to perspire all that energy out. If we had a lot of fur, we couldn't run long distance.
Right.
We could
See.
only do short bursts, right? Like most animals
Panting like
do.
dogs, I guess. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's kind of that's how we evolved to lose the fur and become bipedal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyways, that's a
Interesting.
conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Conversation we're gonna have today.
I mean, kind of related, I guess. I
It's
mean, the
sort of
first part was
yeah, sort of about the representation of like it's not skin just evolved for your environment. It has nothing to do with your hierarchy in a
being
system.
chosen by God as a special
Right. It
people
has
or
nothing to
whatever.
do
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Right. And Jesus is not white. Like that's just another whole factor into this. Like he was
Doesn't
born in the Middle East,
doesn't make
so he
sense.
wasn't white. Um, he looked like Palestinians look today. Like that's what he
Mhm.
looked like. Um, so, but anyways, that's a whole again a different conversation that to have sort of an offshoot of this
Right.
conversation. But I sent you this because kind of what we've been already been talking about is it's about representation and where I've had this conversation with a lot of my friends before. Um, so I'll give you the background. Me, Jay Ziaxi, who's always in our chat, we and our other friend had this conversation. They're obviously a lot more Christian, they're church going and stuff like that. And last year or the year before that, maybe there was always this thing, right? Like, why is there so much gay stuff on in our schools now? Why are we teaching kids about what homosexuality is, what LGBTQ, you all those faceted, trans? Like, why is that in our school? Um, and why is it so much in TV shows now, right? Like it's constantly being shown in. I guess it's kind of like the byproduct of like woke, the woke culture that kind of emerged during Trump
Sure.
one, kind of ish, right? And they were asking me,
I
like,
mean, I feel like people have always had like a strong negative reaction to that sort of thing. Like,
yeah, no, I for sure, but no, 100%. Of course, there's always been a negative reaction for it, like, and but it's been more shown in TV shows now, right? Like
mhm.
shows are now people are it's more acceptable to be more openly gay.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so and I guess I don't know if it's people are thinking people. I think people think again. I have no science to back this up. It's just my own personal anecdotal, whatever, like my own thoughts here. Um, I think people think that because so much stuff is being shown um, on TVs and being taught in classroom, and like the concept of homosexuality and trans is so present and upfront in our society that it's turning kids towards that. Not that kids were already that, right? I
Right.
don't. Which again, I think people just have that backwards, right? It's like
No,
that famous
it's
study,
very
right?
illogical.
Yeah, it's like that famous study, right? Like where like, well, we didn't used to have a lot of left-handed people writing, but then we started to like, because people would like get beat in schools when they were
Yeah.
left-handed. People would think they were like witches and stuff like that. When we stopped doing that, the
Yeah.
left-handed
So
population
suddenly the
fucking
fucking shit
exploded.
yeah,
Right.
same thing with yeah, like oh, we didn't have all this autism back then, but
We just started keeping track of it more.
everybody's grandpa has a special interest. You know,
Yeah, like
like,
if you go into grandma's house, she has like fucking different color fucking teacups across the fucking planet from
right.
everywhere and they all like have to
Yeah.
face a certain way, right? Like it's ridiculous. What's up, Ryan Aries? Oh, I got a knock. I forgot. I already knocked.
Oh, you did. You did.
Oh, I just didn't accept it. Oh, I did accept it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, did it pop up?
It says share chat.
Oh, it should share. It does share chat. Okay, yes. Sorry. Um, yeah, so it's like so this concept that like, oh, the explosion of like homosexuality on TV and in our culture now is turning kids more gay. That's not true. It's just that we have become a little bit more tolerant society towards that stuff. So and then Reckon can maybe lean on this. I don't know how long you have, Reckon. We're talking about homosexuality and representation and all that stuff. So, but this is where the conversation and gaming. We're talking about Marvel Rivals. Um,
Yeah,
which
I'm a
is the
little
game we
out of my
play.
element.
Yeah, you are already analyst, but I think you're gonna be able to like chime in on this, and I think it's gonna be nice because you are so like a third party looking in, and I'm on the inside, right? So I had this conversation with them, and then they were complaining about like why is everything so gay now, right? Like why is everything so gay? Why does everything have to be so
Yikes.
gay? And I was like, well, it's not that. It's just we've become just a lot more tolerant in our society. It's like saying what like why do we have representation of like black people on TV shows? Like we don't need that. We could just put a black face on there, right? Or we don't even need to have like any black character could just be played by a white man.
Right, just stick
Like
to the mainstream culture, like, because
right,
people don't
right.
want to
Like
be made uncomfortable, right?
it's the same exact thing. And they were like, well,
Yeah.
no, because you can't change your blackness, but you can change your sexuality. And I'm like, no, you can't.
Right. Yeah.
You
I mean,
can't. When did you decide
exactly.
to be straight? Like, wait, can you tell me? Like, you just woke up one day and just was just like, I'm gonna be straight. You were just straight, and some people were just gay. Like, it's just a thing that is a thing. Like, it's
It's
not
interesting.
abnormal or normal.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I feel like somebody who spends a lot of time talking to other left, like progressive leaning, Democrat leaning, whatever you want to call it, people in those spaces, like that feels like such an outdated idea for
Right.
like another millennial to have. You know, like I feel like in my mind, I'm like, people understand that it's not a choice, but they just still hate it and it makes them uncomfortable. Not that
No,
there's
people
people
think
out
it's a
there that are
choice.
still literally just like, well, just don't be that way. Like,
Right.
choose not to.
Just
It's
choose not to
like,
be.
I firmly believe the theory that if you truly believe that, you're bisexual. because if it's a choice for you, and you're literally just like, what do you mean? Just choose to be straight. You're bisexual. Like,
You're just choosing to like women, but you like men, really. Right. It's and right, and then we kind of already touched on this concept of like society just becomes more tolerant, so things become more acceptable. But people think like it's because just like we've become more acceptable is what's leading more to the rise of the certain thing. No, it's just because we don't think it's weird anymore. And again, this is this is such a deeper concept because this concept Nietzsche talks about this concept back in before World War II and before in 1930s. He talks about this concept in his book Twilight of the Idols, right? Spartans were gay. Like, they were gay as hell. The Romans were fucking dudes all the time. Like, these people that adopt this, like, oh, Spartan men are tough, like they're warriors, like they'll use their helmets and shit like that. They were gay as hell. Like, if you look at objective history, they fucked guys all the time because they excluded women. It's like jail, right? Like, it's like jail.
yeah.
There's no women there, but these guys are still fucking. Like, it's happening. Just because it's happening in
I
jail
mean, they
doesn't
had
mean
their
it's
wives
not
at
gay.
home, but they like never saw them. So after
Right. They were
you had like your air or whatever, you just went off and just did whatever you
you went
want.
off and you were out fighting wars all the time, right? You were surrounded by well yes, they were that too, but different times, different strokes, whatever. However you
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
call
not
it.
on that point, but on the gay point or whatever you want to call them. I wouldn't say they were necessarily
Yeah,
gay.
but
I
the
think they just
concept of
engaged
gay
in this
wasn't even a
behavior.
thing. It
That's
wasn't a
exactly what
thing.
I was gonna say. It's like it just shows like these things are just social constructs. Like
Yes.
what is and isn't. There's no such thing as what is and isn't acceptable. It's just what a particular society decided. So it's like people
And
can be whatever they want as long as they're not hurting another person, which is why pedophilia is wrong, whereas being trans or gay
not
is
that we're pro
not.
pedophilia. Please don't confuse us. But
No,
this is the concept.
I literally just laid out why that's wrong per se.
No, but I'm saying, like, well,
Like,
people will like to use this thing, well, like,
yeah.
it just wasn't societally wrong back then, so they were okay with it, right? We've decided it's societally wrong now, but tomorrow we could decide it's not societally wrong. So, like, what is it? Like, if we convict somebody now because of what society's deemed as wrong today, but it might not be wrong tomorrow, should we like, that's the
But
defense a lot of people like
there,
to
I
use for,
get
like,
that, but
pedophilia and
there
stuff like that.
is like that's just a complete rejection of that. There are concrete right and wrongs, which I think gets us a lot of trouble when it comes to anything that pertains to
Yeah.
like a particular culture, because like
Yeah.
sometimes things are just like different between cultures, but there are some things that are just plain wrong and some things that are just right. Like
Exactly.
pedophilia
This
is
this
wrong
is
because a child
yeah.
cannot say whether they want to engage in
Yeah.
something or not.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. I agree, and I kind of don't want to get into that and like
I know I
pedophilia
derailed it.
aspect of it. And
I don't
no,
want to
it's
talk
not that
about that either.
it's a part of it. It's a part of the conversation that is attached to it, just like the religion part of it. And I don't want to talk about the religion aspect of it either because it just becomes so complicated. And I'm not versed in Christianity. I'm not even versed in my own religion that I've grown up in my entire life. So I don't want to talk about this, but I understand that, like, it's like a cyst that's attached to it's like a cancerous tumor that is attached to this, and it just continues to evolve and gets bigger. But Nietzsche kind of talks about what you've kind of talked about, right? uh before the invention of Christianity in Socratic times and ancient Greek, Greek times, Roman times, the idea of good and bad were so much more fluid, right? Like, okay, and I've talked about this before too. Is, for example, if an artist was good at drawing, he was a good artist, right? Like he was just defined. He wasn't defined by like characteristics of his personality. He was just a good artist. He could be a bad person, but a good artist, right?
Mhm.
Uh, Christianity's invention created sort of like these two categories that didn't used to exist before. If you do this sets of rules, if you follow this sets of people, if you listen to this sets of things, you will be allowed into heaven. You're a good person, right? Like
Mhm.
the you gotta what is it? You can't have you can't wear linen or whatever, like is like a single cloth or mixed cloth, like something like that, right?
Right,
Like
right, yeah.
you have to do that. If you pray, if you could do a tithe or whatever, like the commandments, if you follow these commandments, you go to heaven. And if you don't follow these, you're a bad person. It doesn't matter what your own morality and how good you were as a person or how well you treated other human beings. That concept kind of just disappeared. It's just you became this like if you follow this, you're a good person. If you follow this, you're a bad person, right? So
Right.
it just became this thing like
It took away all the nuance.
it did take away all the nuance. And again, that's kind of what Nietzsche talks about. And I don't want to go into religion because again, it's just not the conversation that I want to have today. I want to talk about like representation that that it's tied to sexuality and race so heavily. And people like to differentiate that two things, but they are kind of like uh, two tracks on the same train, right? Like, like when people go to advance for uh, uh, racial rights or minority rights, but they like to kind of exclude the sexual representation of a lot of people, and I almost want to treat like sexual orientation as a minority, like a skin color, right? Like if you
Mhm.
just picture it that way, but it kind of like this thing you sent me today, right? Like, oh, if a black person will come in and they're like highly educated or whatever, or they dress well, they're like you're a subcategory, right? Like you don't people don't go like, oh, it's it's my view that's wrong. Oh no, he's just an exception, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like sexuality's kind of become that, right? Like, oh no, we could talk about minority rights, we could talk about race rights, we can talk about immigrants' right, but like sexuality's kind of just to the side. You know what I mean? Like it's a subcategory of it. Like, mind you, there's ton of like
So why do you
people
think that
from
is?
why do I think that is? I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know. I don't again to me it's the same thing as like why there's racism, right? Like it's just a thing that's built into the capitalist structure um, that we that capitalism uses to divide things by hierarchies and classes. So you need to be able to suppress other people, right? Like at the top, white men,
Mhm.
then it's white women, then it's black minority men, black men being the predominant culture in our society, right? And then it's probably like black women, and then black men that are gay, then black women that are gay, or and I'm using synonymous black as just a catch-all for minorities, right?
Mhm.
But that's kind of how we decided, right? And then we kind of go like, well, white men are at the top, but they need somebody to shit on, right? Like if we don't have somebody to shit on, they kind of just shit on each other. And then you have like differentiations of like
Mhm.
within that structure, you have
Like
value
socioeconomic.
levels. Yeah, like
Yeah.
socioeconomics, and it's obviously in each category as well that there's the socioeconomic level. So I think that's how I see it.
Mhm.
Maybe, but I don't know if that's like the correct way to do it. Like, so why, if you ask me why this exists, I think it exists because capitalism has created a structure of haves and have-nots, and uh, human beings and not human beings, right? Like that's just how it is because it makes exploitation that much easier. So, uh, we can play this
I,
TikTok.
I I would guess that for why it's historically, I guess, even less acceptable to discuss. And I guess like yes, like gay and lesbian representation has come up a lot more, but now we're like really thick in the trans issue. I would imagine that they're just that much smaller of a population. That
minuscule.
is what, like, obviously there's, you know,
it's easier to pick on.
Like racial and ethnic minorities, there's still like a larger group that can organize, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that like I don't know, like, but
like trans people can't organize as well as like other minority groups.
No, not that they can't, because they have. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, trans people have played a huge role in organizing for LGBTQ people in general.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as like the overall societal like acceptance of it, like maybe because it's newer and because it's not as like and it's like a smaller portion of the population, maybe that's why it's still a little more taboo than.
But I think it's like it kind of goes back to the whole like just creating a subcategory out of this, right? Like, well, I'm okay with gay people, like, because they're I have unresolved homosexual fantasy, so I can kind of picture me doing that, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can imagine myself like kissing another girl or kissing another man, right? Like, guys, the famous fucking thing, right? Like, they're like, if you don't think Ryan Reynolds is hot, like, you're actually gay, right? Like, guys say that. Like, if you don't think another man is hot, then you're actually gay. Like, so, but like, they can.
That's a male-gazed man, because I don't think women find Ryan Reynolds attractive.
Do they not?
I don't think so.
I think a lot of women do.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what women find attractive. I'm a fucking dude, and I'm just not too familiar with women. I felt weird saying that, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
Yeah.
Do I have a conversation?
That's not really relevant to.
No, it's not irrelevant. It's well, sort of, but I'm just saying, like, people, guys can maybe picture themselves kissing another guy, and I know 99% of them are gonna not admit this, and yeah, and it's a fucking lie.
This conversation is not going where I thought it was
going to go. Exactly.
all.
I didn't want to go this way, but anyways, it's a fucking lie. I 100% believe it. But they can't picture themselves being women, right? Like, they can't picture themselves being trans. So they create this subcategory. They go, oh, it's not exactly LGBT. It's something else. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, they've created, they take it apart. They don't go, oh no, this is just my I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. Like, I don't want to say like my ignorance, I guess. Yeah, ignorance. I guess
so
that
you're saying everyone. Well, first we're saying sexuality is a spectrum, absolutely. So you're 100%. Saying everyone has like there's no person on earth that's like, I'm 100% straight. I've never had a non-straight.
Absolutely
thought.
fucking.
Dude, that's fucking bullshit, who are like, I'm 100% the gender I was born, and I've never even thought about what it would be like to be, you know, like, I don't know.
Like, what is, like, okay, how do you decide on, like, again, this is such a conversation that we are not equipped to have.
No, right? And it also goes much deeper, because now I'm just thinking, like, again, back to the societal expectation thing, like, gender is just.
How do you decide that?
It's just an amalgamation of the way you present yourself to the world. Like, it's not really like.
Exactly. So
it's not really a scientific thing.
No, well, it could be right, but like, you kind of, I don't know, you know, like, people like to think like, well, if you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a female. Well, okay, well, what if now that he had a fucking penis, now he has a, if that is the only selecting category, right? Like, that is how we decide who's a man, who's a woman. What if they change now? Does that change? Like, well, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole nother fucking, again, conversation I don't want to have. But if gender is just your societal behaviors that we organize around, right? Like then what are those?
Mhm.
Right, like the masculinity, like there's a lot of traits in myself, and I'm not afraid to like fucking admit this, and doesn't make me any less of a fucking man. I have ton of traits that are 100% feminine, and like Casey, she's in some aspects is like way more masculine. Like I don't fucking like to do like fixing things, like you know what I mean. Like I'd much rather pay somebody to fucking fix it. That's not manly, whatever. I'm capable of doing it, I just don't fucking like doing it. She, on the other hand, will fucking actually like get her hands dirty. I'm not that I don't get my hands dirty, but she will actually go and do it herself. Like she's totally fine with that,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Like totally fine. Wait, well, you know what I mean? My preference is I like powerful women. I like ambitious women. That's just my own personal preference. You're well aware of that. But I'm just saying, right? But like if somebody were to look at it, like they'd go like, well, where's your husband? Like there was a famous what's that Nate fucking something, a comedian, where he goes
Yeah,
like,
I know
you know
what
who
you're
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where he goes like, well, my wife handles all the house repairs and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
the guy repairman will come in. We had to get our door changed. Yeah, right. Like maybe we could watch
Yeah.
that clip. And he's like, dude, I don't fucking know. The door's right there. Like fucking fix it. My wife knows everything. I'm the same
Right.
exact fucking way. My wife
Yeah, I think
knows
it's their like
everything about
water
the
heater or
house.
something like that. Yeah.
Right, something, whatever it was, like door, wipe, water heater. Like she's way more in charge of that manly stuff than
I
I
think the
am.
joke was like, "Oh yeah, the man of the house, she's back there." Or
Yeah, right,
something like
right,
that. Like,
exactly.
why are you talking to me?
100%, hundred
Yeah,
percent. I have no problem paying for it. I have no
that's
problem.
funny.
Take my fucking car, do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. Don't ask me to fucking do it.
I love
Like,
that. I love that for you.
I love that for me too. I love that for me. I love that for me. Because if I had to fucking do it, oh, it'd be a fucking nightmare. Because I lose patience instantly.
Mhm.
Instantly. If it's not fucking
Yeah.
done, I lose patience. That's not the conversation we want.
Unfortunately, in my house, that kind of stuff is for boys.
It's a blue
I,
job.
it's a glitch. I don't do that.
You're okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, well then that's totally fine. But there are like certain
I don't
things
have to
that
be a feminist all the time. God damn.
betray,
Too much.
betray, traitor to womankind.
I
Anyways,
am. I am. Sometimes.
you look at a repair like that's, I don't see that, something's broken. It's not in my
Yes.
periphery. I didn't see it.
I'm just a girl. I can't do that. No.
Lawn's gotta get mowed.
I'm kidding.
Whatever.
No, I can mow the lawn.
Do you though? It's not that you can.
Sometimes. I haven't done it yet this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did it last year.
Not the conversation we want to have. Can we actually get to the conversation?
Derailed. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's just watch the TikTok and we'll get on the conversation that we want to have.
Okay. Yeah, which
So,
we
okay,
we have not introduced at all because we talked literally about
Yes.
every other like topic but this.
We've circled around the topic. We've set you guys up. Okay, let me introduce. So, Marvel Rivals is a video game. As it sounds, I don't need to explain it to you guys, but if there's somebody that doesn't know what Marvel Rivals is, it's like a hero shooter, right? It's again Marvel Rivals, so you have Iron Man, all these other characters that are in the Marvel universe. Every season, which is usually about 3 months long, they'll introduce a bunch of new characters, right, for you to be able to play. One of the newest characters that I wasn't even aware of is called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Dinosaur is in front of you. Moon Girl is another character. They're paired up. They're paired up together. She is supposed to be the smartest character in the Marvel universe. Way smarter than Reed Richards. Way smarter than Iron Man. Who we've in the movies seen. I'm sure you've seen the movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you know, like Iron Man is like this brilliant fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
She's like infinitely fucking smarter than him. So when they introduced Moon Girl to this, or Devil Dinosaur to this, they're supposed to be a pair. They chose not to include Moon Girl. There's a lot of explanations going around this, but you can hear her. You can hear Moon Girl in the background when you play Devil Dinosaur, or when there's Devil Dinosaur on the field. Marvel Rivals and NetEase have been facing a little bit of backlash about their representation of minority heroes, right? They have certain black heroes, but a lot of them don't get played because a lot of them are just bad, and they're not like the meta characters, right? And the other character is Shuri, who is Black Panther's sister, right? You remember? I don't know if you've seen the Black Panther movies.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
Sorry.
she is in this, but only as like a background screen. So all the smart black
Okay.
characters, there's this whole trope around NetEase right now, that they're not representing the black community and the black heroes well, and there's a ton of them, and they could be a lot better. Uh, yeah, we saw that, Jay. So Moon Girl gets introduced. She is not a playable character. You don't see her, you only hear her. A lot of the explanation around this is that um, NetEase is a Chinese company. This is a Chinese game, by the way. There's a lot of strict rules around being able to shoot children in video games in China, or being able to do harm for video games in China. Like you can't. That's a big no, right?
Which I think makes sense.
100% agree with that sentiment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You should not be doing that,
Let's not do that.
at all. Yeah, let's not have that be a thing that happens, right? But people are saying, well, you can artificially age her up. It's a video game. You can toy around with this concept, or you can even just have her hologram riding Devil Dinosaur, and then the hologram kind of disappears or whatever, or like she can just be on a jetpack, so whenever Devil Dinosaur dies, she kind of just flies away in jetpack. You're not exactly shooting her, you're just shooting the dinosaur, and she just like there on his back, like as a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me. But like, so there's these two concepts. Like if you wanted to, you could have made it work. And then like there's the other aspect of, well, it's like they don't really want to because it's just too much work to do and all that stuff, right? Like that whole concept of it, like it's against the Chinese laws and all that stuff. Let's watch this TikTok. This guy does a pretty good job of explaining it, and then we can kind of go into the stuff we've already started talking about, representation and stuff like that.
Character in Marvel Rivals in and of itself is not that big of a deal. But when measured with the entirety of Marvel Rivals' shoddy representation of black characters, it becomes a big deal. Because if Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur were packaged this way at launch, it would have been weird because they've been branded as a package deal across media for a long time, but it probably wouldn't have become as big of a deal as it has now. When you look at the minuscule number of black characters on the roster, who oscillate on tier lists from dog shit to aggressively mid at best, you can understand why people are upset. Because this isn't an isolated incident. It's kind of become something of a pattern. Like how out of all 3 wedding skins, Storm and T'Challa didn't get animated nameplates, synchronized emotes, or voice effects that affect their ultimate. Or how Shuri, Spider-Zero, and Moon Girl are all in the game, but relegated to cutscenes. Or how they couldn't be bothered to animate Cloak with legs. But of course, there are tons of people defending the decision to omit Moon Girl, with a laundry list of hyper-rational explanations of why she can't possibly be in the game. But y'all are going to make me tap the sign again because comics genius Dwayne McDuffie explained this phenomenon perfectly.
The phrase I get all the time is I'm always trying to shove my agenda down their throat, which seems sexually charged to me. But there is a hardcore piece of the audience whose back goes up whenever you go into music.
Talking about with your friends, like
right, and he's in the fucking chat right now. So.
No, so I mean, that's exactly like verbatim. Like they're like,
100%.
why is this being shoved down my throat all the time?
Right.
It's like, well, clearly people mistakenly feel the same way, just about a different issue.
It's about a different issue.
And they don't even realize it. And what kills me about it is when they're writing about it, they're always hyper rational. Look, the fact is there are more white characters, and if you picked randomly, you would end up with all white teams. And the fact that there are 3 black people on this team is statistically ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously a quota. And the quota arguments on fictional teams crack me up. Because who's actually, I'm sorry, somebody ain't losing a job here? Which fictional character is losing a job?
Right.
They're not talking about what's going on in the comic books. They're talking about what they think is going on in their lives. And that's not really going on either.
Yes, obviously putting a character model of a 10-year-old black girl in an online hero shooter would encourage racists and weirdos to do a bunch of weird shit to her
Right.
character, but don't act like there aren't workarounds. Because if Jean Grey can have some flame apparition that's always hovering behind her, you could have easily made a holographic version of Moon Girl's face that hovers around Devil Dinosaur. Or you could have animated her face in a picture at the bottom left hand of the screen like this tweet says. The laws preventing Chinese developers from putting kids in a hero shooter make perfect fucking sense. But again, without having to age her up, there are still tons of workarounds you could make if you just put your brain to it. But cards on the table, I'm not personally a fan of Moon Girl or Devil Dinosaur for that matter. I mean, I like Devil Dinosaur conceptually because he's a Kirby creation and I'm always biased towards the king. The same goes for Moon Girl, who is a black character in a genre of which we have so few. But the reason I think it's important to be vocal now is that if we don't address this issue presently, Marvel Rivals will think it's okay to keep botching black characters that I do have a personal attachment to. Because just like this image went viral and actually found its way into the game, it's clear that the Marvel Rivals devs pay attention to the discourse around the game. Obviously, when they see the backlash, they'll understand that this character and black characters as a whole are a big deal for people in Marvel Rivals, which might prompt them to have some urgency at releasing Brother Voodoo or War Machine. Because if y'all botch the release of Luke Cage and subsequently make him trash tier, y'all are going to find my black ass in Seagate. Moon Girl not being a playable character in Marvel Rivals.
Now, again, it's, and people don't like you said, people won't admit this, but you could have easily replaced this whole conversation and this commentary with somebody from the LGBT community, right? And it would be the same exact conversation. It would be the concept of this conversation, the concept of what is happening around this is the exact same thing, but people like to differentiate that, right? For I don't know what reason, but it's just a thing that happens, right? And me personally, it's more about like, well, as long as I'm not getting shit on and I can shit on somebody else, that's totally fine with me, right? Like it's like I'm just gonna shove it somebody else's way. To be honest, I think all of this shit is dumb. What do you mean by that? Like, do you think the discourse is dumb, or like how they're doing this is dumb? What is dumb? And again, you could have totally been a part of this fucking conversation. You're black and you play this game, goofy. I think they could have. If you're gonna introduce a character, I think you just do it right. You just woke up, of course.
Doesn't want to have to fight right now.
No, he doesn't want to have
with
to
you.
fight. But that's just the thing, and it kind of just it's the thing that we talked about earlier today, right? With Ken Martin and the DNC report, right? Like it's like, well, if you're gonna release it, just do it correctly. If you're gonna do the report, just fucking release the report. Why create this whole controversy around it? And then you're going to release a statement saying, well, like, there's really no controversy. I just didn't like the report, and I didn't think it was good enough to put the DNC
And it is a bad report. I mean,
but it is about race, though. Like, it is about race. Again, like the guy said, it is about race. It's inherently about race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's
about representation of a race.
Right. So the part that stuck out to me was the clip from the, I don't know who that guy was. He's like a comic, like
Yeah, I guess he's a comic. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or like comic book, like I don't know if he draws them or whatever, but his point about the hyper rational argument stuck out to me because that's what people always do. I mean, I told you, we spoke briefly earlier about the remake of The Odyssey and the backlash because Helen of Troy is being played by Lupita Nyong'o. People make, like, the most common argument you see is like, oh, well, Helen of Troy would have been Greek. Why is she being portrayed by a black woman?
Okay.
But it's like, Helen of Troy is a fictional character. Like, you're trying to hyper rationalize something, which a lot of people don't realize. Like, you need to understand the Odyssey did not really happen. He's talking to gods. Like, Cyclops were never running around.
No, this is all exactly. It's Homer wrote this as a fictional thing. So it's like it's insane. I'm gonna try to I'm trying to pull up a video so maybe somebody much smarter than us can talk about why representation really matters. Um, I'm sending it to you on. I'm putting it on Discord. You see if you could pull it up. It's I just pulled it up. I don't know what she's going to talk about, but she's talking about why representation matters. So like when you say it's not to make it about race, it's about the representation of race. We live in a multicultural, multiracial, multifaceted, diverse society with all walks of life. If you just chose at random, you're gonna hit somebody that's different from the mainstream aspect of things, right? Like it's just what's gonna have to happen.
Part of my point with like the thing with the Odyssey is that it's going to be made about race kind of no matter what you do, because people are going to have backlash. They're going to have opinions about that. And if you just don't include more representation because of this fear of this backlash, then only one type of person is going to be represented all the time.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And this conversation bleeds much deeper into what's the word I'm looking for? It just got overruled because of Clarence Thomas, and he's always been against this. The acceptance to schools.
Oh, affirmative action?
Affirmative action. I could not fucking think of affirmative action. Right. Now there's a whole thing going on at Yale and Harvard saying with the whole lawsuit being brought in and with affirmative action being overturned, it was literally 10 med students compared to 150. I think it's at Yale Medical School. It was literally 10 minority black students compared to 150 Asian med students that one person rose that they chose to fight against this affirmative action, right? And now it's coming out, well, Asian Americans are suffering mostly because of affirmative action being taken away. So there is real life consequences to this aspect. It's a little bit different. But to answer your question, Jay, how would you fix these black heroes though? For example, Blade, he hacks. But again, you look at Gambit, right? Gambit is not a healer in his original kit. He takes kinetic energy and turns it into, that's his ability. He takes kinetic energy and turns it into explosive energy using his cards. That's his power. Fucking nothing about healing. He doesn't fucking heal. They don't have to stick to their abilities because they aren't sticking with them anyways. Right? Like it's just not a thing that it's a video game. You're thinking of it as like, well, they have to stick to the source code. They don't. They're not. There's so many abilities that are coming out that aren't. Like,
I mean,
Moon Knight doesn't fucking shoot an Ankh. That's not an ability of his.
Doesn't it also lead into, like, if we don't have these conversations and, like, make it about race sometimes, and you are not ever going to see more complex black characters or black heroes who have more interesting abilities that, you know, people would want to play and want to see as, like, the main character, I guess, as a story, or a main character. It sounds like Marvel Rivals has, like, a lot of different ones. Like,
yeah, and again, the thing that also gets brought up too is Barbie dolls, right? Is a perfect example of this, right? For so long, young black girls, young brown girls could not see themselves in there's and again, this isn't just my thing. There's a ton of studies that have been done on young girls and Barbie dolls where they don't see the representation, right? And again, to boys too, this aspect applies to boys too, is when they don't see the correct representation, they inherently assign a value structure because you've created something like, well, this is what is the best, this is what's going to be presented to you, right? So then there becomes this inherent value structure that, like, white skin, blue eyes, blonde hair is better than
Right.
another thing. So you've created a on a maybe on a subconscious level of hierarchy, of supremacy, right? Kids don't know that like brown skin is better or white skin is better. They treat it all the same, but when you start to introduce these concept into it, right, it becomes much deeper thing later on down the road. um that's just it. And like again, it's the same concept, right? Like when you if you believe in this thing, like, well, there's too much gay stuff being taught in schools, so it's going to turn kids gay later on down the road. Well, if it's only one race and not multicultural diversity being taught in school, then later on down the road they're gonna believe in white supremacy because that's all they've been shown and that's all they've been exposed to.
That'd be the norm. Yeah.
It's the norm. It becomes the default, right? When in reality it's not that. Like default is just you are the default however you are.
Right.
But it's a 15-minute TikTok. Let's see what she says. I'm sure I haven't watched this, so I just literally just pulled it up. I think it's an old one too. So it why representation
6 years
matters.
ago.
Yeah, so this is not a new concept.
Imagine growing up in a world where you are overlooked. What if you do not see yourself anywhere? What if you don't feel any connection? Until society represents everyone, the questions will always be, where do I belong? Do I belong? It is time to rethink representation. Now, I believe representation is vital because it provides the opportunity for your existence to be acknowledged in this world. Now, representation can take many forms, some of which are more obvious than others and some of which cannot be seen. After all, we all have many identities. You cannot see that I am dyslexic. You might not know that I believe in God, but the one thing that you can definitely see is that I'm Black. Representation matters. Now, of all of my identities, my race has had the biggest impact on my life. And the reason why it's had such an impact on my life is because it's so significant. And whilst I may have many different identities, it's through the lens of race that I talk to you today. I want to explore racial representation over time because I've always had this need to see representation. The theme has been a golden thread throughout my life. So it's the 80s. My nan is a nurse in a Bristol hospital, and she's on her lunch break, and her colleague is reading a newspaper, and there is a picture of a monkey. He calls her over and he says, "Evelyn, have a look at this. It's your cousin." Now, my nan was deeply upset and disturbed by this, and she spoke to the sister in charge, only to be told, "Do not take this to the Race Relation Board because he will lose his job." An apology would suffice. But it's different now, isn't it? It's the 90s. My mum is a primary school teacher. And she talks of a time when she went to a kick racism at a football event, and she and the children were chanted at. They suffered the most horrific racism, and yet not one person challenged it, only to seek counsel from her head teacher and then be told, "Leave your culture at the door," as if she could unzip her Black skin, hang it up, and collect it at the end of the day. But it's different now, isn't it? It's 2010, and my colleague calls me her coffee-colored friend, or perhaps a latte. Now, I challenge her on this, and I explain to her that I identify as Black, and she says, "I do not care what you say." Then she refers to a student, and she says, "But you see him, he's Black, so Black he's scary." But it's different now, isn't it? It's 2013, and my 5th generation of my family are in the UK. And my youngest, he comes home from school and he's upset. And I'm like, "Why are you crying?" He says, "Mummy, my friend said I can't come to your party because I'm Black. And I don't want to be Black anymore." Imagine the pain in my heart when my son says to me, I don't want to be black anymore because to be black means exclusion. But it's different now, isn't it? It's now 2019, and this is my baby. And me and him are at a restaurant and we're talking. And then he starts to panic, and I'm like, well, what's wrong? He then points over and he says, Mummy, look, there's 2 police officers. So? But Mummy, they hurt black people. Now, where has he got this from? Because it's not from me, and it's certainly not from his home life. It's from his social environment. And he's 8 years old, and he already has this fear. So my question to you is, so is it different now? Now, these lived experiences are just some examples of the overt racism that me and my family have suffered. But what we must not neglect to do is talk about the subtle, the unconscious, the I don't see color type of racism. I go to complete an application form. I only have 2 options, Black African, Black Caribbean. I don't have the choice of being Black British, and yet my parents are born here. I was born here. I blow dry my hair straight. I like to mix it up a little bit, sometimes. And then my colleague said to me, Aisha, you look beautiful, you look stunning. Please keep your hair straight. That is the best version of you. As if my natural kinky coily hair is too extreme and isn't the best version of me. So I travel a lot in my job, and I travel from London to Bristol. And I'm on a packed train, and I offer a seat next to me, only for the lady to say, nope, I'd rather stand. So then the person in front of me, a white passenger, same offer, yes, please. I go to a training event, and I pick up my badge, and I sign in with my name and my title. Excuse me, are you sure you got the right badge? Yeah, last time I checked, I was Aisha Thomas, and I'm an assistant principal. Don't want to lose the badge. These are just some of my everyday experiences, and it's difficult to express and share. What these stories have taught me to do, they've taught me to cope, to deal, to navigate, and sometimes to accept. And I have, to be honest, I have accepted racism and discrimination, but this is something that I can no longer do. However, getting to this point has not been easy. It has to be a true understanding of representation, and that's what I've had to learn along the way. So about 10 years ago, I was volunteering for the Prince's Trust, and I was working with young people, and I was helping them to get from prison and reintegrate into society. Now, volunteering in a young offenders institution is tough. I still remember the patting down of my body, the clanging of the keys, the locking of every door behind me. And the visiting hall was so cold, I could literally see my breath as I spoke. I felt scared. I felt trapped, and I felt vulnerable. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel free. And as I sat there, I waited for this strong, arrogant, full of attitude and confidence young man to approach me. But where did I get this mental picture from? Was it the media? Was it music? Was it TV? Representation matters. But instead, this young, childlike figure approached me, full of so much hope of a second chance, and yet he changed my life. So one day we were talking, and he stopped and he paused, and he said, perhaps if you were my teacher, I wouldn't be in prison today. All the white people in charge are the ones that get to make the decisions. And if I want to be successful, I've got to be a drug dealer, I've got to be a footballer, or I've got to be an actor. Because that's the only way I can make money, and that's the only success that I see. Representation matters. Now, you've got to look at this and really understand that this young person saw his success in crime, actually in crime. Then it dawned on me, what if you do see representation, but it has a specific narrative? If only he knew positive representation existed, but he had been denied access to it. At this point, I knew I was not having enough impact on young people. I was getting to them far too late. They were already part of the justice system. So then I decided to transition from the legal profession into education. Imagine empowering a young person to believe that they belong, so much so that they genuinely thrive in spite of prejudice. Now, that should be the norm, shouldn't it? But it's not the norm. Every day, Black, Asian, and minority ethnic children are educated without seeing themselves in the curriculum or their environment. They walk into the classroom and they hear about the greatness of others, all that they have conquered and all that they have contributed. Then they look at their skin and they say to themselves, where do I belong? What have my people achieved? Now, the Swan Report 1985 said education for all, and yet we still continue to live in a time where inequalities in schools continue to dominate. 32 years later, the Runnymede Trust report found that Bristol is a divided city. There is an evident lack of diversity in both teaching staff and leadership. Just 4.4% of teachers in Bristol schools are Black, Asian, and from minority ethnic backgrounds. And in 2018, we found that there were only 26 Black teachers in state secondary schools in Bristol out of 1,346. Now, this isn't just about Black teacher recruitment, and this just isn't about having a Black person in the room. We must also look at our behavior, our language, our value, our influences. Let's take the words white and Black. When I think of the word white, I think of positivity, angels, bright, white, clean, fresh. When I think of the word Black, I think of negativity, blackguard, black heart, Black on Black crime, blacklist, Black sheep of the family. You don't buy it? Take some time later just making a list, and you will soon see the pattern that's perpetuated a culture of prejudice. Yet, we don't criticize it. We're paralyzed. We accept the status quo because those are our social norms, aren't they? We play into the hands of racial hierarchy, bias, and representative oppression because those are the cards that we've been dealt. But imagine a world where you could teach a child the value of all races. Just imagine that for a moment. Racial superiority would be stripped of its crown, and all races would be sworn in with equal importance. Our children would grow with a sense of value, connection, and understanding of difference. Imagine if they knew Una Marson was the first female Black broadcaster for the BBC. Imagine if they knew Lonnie G. Johnson was the inventor of the Super Soaker and was an engineer. Imagine if they knew that Marie Van Britten was the inventor of the first home CCTV. And imagine if they knew that Garrett Morgan was an inventor of a version of the free light traffic light system. Representation matters more than we know. We must all use our positions of privilege and influence to better advance all communities to build an environment of positive representation. Let us all use our experiences to change the culture. We owe it to ourselves, but we also owe it to our future generations. The truth is, if we could just believe in the contributions of others and appreciate them, we would soon see the value in everyone. My experiences are just an illustration of the impact of the lack of representation. But imagine a world where everyone was recognized and respected and acknowledged in all aspects of life. Isn't that a world that we all deserve? Representation really matters.
Thoughts? It doesn't really answer to. It doesn't really answer the question that we're talking about, but in a way, in a way, it does. And there's a another aspect to this conversation that we're having, that that we could talk about is whenever there is even somewhat of a truthful representation that we want to talk about, right? Like, or we want to portray in a about a minority issue, right? Like a minority representation. Um, there always has to be a you know the concept of like a token black person. It, if when we're talking about whether it's civil rights or slavery or any kind of black issue or any kind of black narrative, or minority narrative, there always has to be a token white person to sympathize and make the entire movie less threatening. And you hardly even notice it. Have you seen the movie Hidden Figures? You know the guy Kevin Costner plays,
Yeah, he's
the head of the
at
NASA.
NASA. Yeah,
That person doesn't exist in real
doesn't
life.
exist really.
They invented that entire character
Just because
just to
right.
make that movie work. Just
Because of
because there needed to
all-
be a scene where he breaks down the colored thing. That scene, that event never happened.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, yes, it's a white person comfort character for the white audience. It's
Yes,
to
it
show
makes-
like, oh, I so that way you don't have to deal with your own racism because you identify
Yes.
with the hero character.
See, if that
absolutely.
character wasn't there at all, the only other character that a white person could relate to
Are the
is
racists.
fucking the guy that's played by Sheldon Cooper, or every other cop that they fucking relate, or every other white person they fucking meet in that
But
movie.
that probably is like more what your behavior is. Whether like
Yes.
because a lot of people aren't gonna recognize like the microaggressions like she's talking about, like
Right.
you know, you complimented your black coworkers straight hair today, you know, because they decided to straighten it, and you told them that that's the best they've ever looked. Like it sounds innocent to you, but
It does.
to them it's different. Like yeah, absolutely.
So,
So like
just
you're
to-
not addressing
just
your
to-
own racism. Sorry,
Right.
go
So
ahead.
just to come back to the video game topic we're talking about, it just seems silly to be talking about like race, right? Like, well, it's a fucking video game. Yeah, again, it's a video game character. You can make them do whatever you want. You wouldn't offend anybody, dude. You wouldn't offend anybody. You wouldn't care. Like, it's the video. Nobody would lose their job. You would fucking play that character because it's a better character. Race would have nothing to do with it. When you're playing fucking video games, you're just looking at abilities that you can fucking use. It's just that simple. But when there's this consistent like theme around certain characters are just bad and certain characters are just good, right? And then those certain characters that are bad just happen to have something very common in them.
Right.
It's just a thing. And I'm sure like a really good player can pick up one of those bad characters, get really good with it, and then people can point to that, go like, well, you just don't know how to play it. I play it and I'm playing really well. No, you're an outlier. Like, you're
Right,
just an anomaly in this system, right? It
Well,
wouldn't
and
fucking matter.
you can say the same thing about real life, right? Like somebody can point to a successful black person or
President Obama.
Obama, and say we have no racism because Obama
Because
was
we have a
president.
president. No, Obama was fucking horrible. But like anyway, that's besides the
Makes
fucking
sense.
point. That's another conversation. But was he as bad as other president? No, but he was still fucking bad. Like
Well, it doesn't matter. It's just
It doesn't matter.
completely incorrect to say that his president
He's the most
means that
popular-
racism doesn't exist.
he's the most popular political figure on the Democratic Party. And it's the joke we made today. They will vote for fucking Sarah Huckabee Sanders because she's a fucking woman. And it does not matter her
Yeah.
own personal thing. It has no idea to it. Obama was bad, dickhead. But anyways. So there's this other and it's not just Hidden Figures. There's other movies you could think about it as well too. Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther, like Wakanda Forever,
There was
Black Panther. There's the CIA white guy that like just happens to fall into Wakanda and saves the king because he's a good guy.
well,
it just
I
happens
read
to be the white guy.
I read a book. It's a great book. It's called Babel. I read it, I want to say last year, and then after I finished it, so there's no white comfort character in that book. Like every white character in that book does exactly what you expect them to.
Yep.
And I read the reviews after. It's just a slew of probably a bunch of white women being like,
Yeah.
I
What the fuck
hated
is
this book. I hated
Yeah.
this book. Why are all the like of
Yeah.
course like the white characters have to be bad like all the
Yeah.
time. It's just like
No, it's history.
you don't even
Sorry.
take a second to like
Yep.
think about it. Because yes, it's like it's a fictional story, but it's set in
Rooted in something.
early 1900s Oxford, and the
do you
main
think was happening?
character is half Chinese. Like
Yeah.
it's like, so,
And it right. And another thing is too is Sinners. Did you see Sinners?
mhm,
Excellent movie.
mhm.
It doesn't have that. It doesn't have this token white person.
That's
that
true.
saves.
That's true.
It doesn't have that. It doesn't, and it does extremely well. Another thing, and how it
I
applies
saw
to
a
real life.
criticism. Sorry, so it's kind of random, but I saw criticism from an obviously a white person of like the dancing scene where like it shows like cultures into the future and stuff like that of like all the people present and stuff like that as well as the past, and they're like, this is an awful movie. It doesn't make any sense. Like the point like totally went over their
Yeah.
head of that scene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they're like, why is there suddenly people in like jeans and sneakers there? It's like because it's a representative of the culture. Like, what is wrong with you? It's crazy.
They don't think. I don't think at all about it. And what was I gonna say?
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and I totally forgot what I was gonna say too now. So
Damn it, ruined the flow.
yeah,
My bad.
you totally did. But yeah, it's just oh yes. So Danny Glover
Mhm.
was trying to make kind of a same thing about the Haitian Revolution, right? And every single studio, and Danny Glover is a well fucking known actor.
Mhm.
Every single studio denied him
Mhm.
funding to be able to make this movie because he didn't have a token white person, because there is no token white person in the Haitian Revolution. It is a imperialist story about the fight against suppression against the white people, the
Mm.
French. Like it's just so they were like, well, it just will never sell. Well, again, Sinners has proved that wrong,
Wrong.
that it
Yeah.
won't sell. As long as you make a good movie, it will sell. You don't necessarily have to. We as a society have somewhat evolved to a point where like we can maybe majority of people maybe actually I should, that's a little bit hopeful, but a lot of the people can,
Majority is
majority is a lot, yeah, but like a lot of the people can at least imagine that these bad things are happening. At least the newer generation is able to reckon with it without their fucking minds exploding that like, oh no, this can't be a thing. And another thing
some
that I wanted to
progress, I
kind of,
suppose.
yeah, some progress, I suppose. Another thing that I wanted to kind of bring up too is a lot of the times when Martin Luther King obviously is a massive figure in civil rights, and this is really gonna fucking get me into trouble, and we're not gonna like what I have to say, but he's obviously a
Okay.
massive civil rights figure, and I'm not saying he didn't do a tremendous amount of work towards getting black people civil rights, but whenever history is taught and there's always this subtle mention of, well, it wasn't, there was other people around it, and certainly yes, other races, white people, Jewish people, other minorities were supporting Martin Luther King, but again, it's the same concept, right? That like, oh, we needed to attach a certain figure to a black figure, a powerful black figure, just so when kids nowadays are learning about history, they don't they don't see themselves in the people that were spitting on him, or the people that were spitting on Ruby Bridgers, or other young little black girls that were going to um, the school in a segregated district. They're able to at least picture themselves in a person standing next to Martin Luther King, or standing next to the Army National Guard soldier that is doing the right thing by escorting this little girl into the school. They don't see it in the old lady spitting on Ruby Bridges, which is more likely their grandparents, but they're seeing it in
Right.
the cop. And the thing that I was going to say about Martin Luther King too is, and it's one of those things that I just mentioned. Like, we'll pick a character and we'll get like we'll raise it to prominence in a way, and then we kind of point at it. Martin Luther King is kind of the same way, is way it's portrayed in American history, right? We don't see Malcolm X the same way.
Right.
We don't see all the Black Panther Party the same way as we see the movement that Martin Luther King led. And it's so much so that, like, now,
even, I mean, I don't know enough about it to really speak on it, but from what I've heard, even Martin Luther King's legacy has been picked and chosen. Like,
it's
obviously words
yes.
on like nonviolence and stuff like that, because if we elevated
Yes.
Malcolm X, and suddenly people in society want to rise up, and actually revolt rather
Yes.
than use the nonviolence, of course, but like, not everything that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said like was this like peace, like let's all get together, unity type thing. It's just better for a white supremacist narrative.
Yeah, I mean, like, a true count, we would talk about his swaths of issues, and one of them being him cheating on his wife all the time, right? Like, that's a huge part of the history that like nobody talks about, and kind of just skips over.
But I mean, yeah, but I mean more like other things maybe he said or advocated for that weren't just like everybody be peace, love, and we'll all just be one. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, yes, what you're saying is important too. It's like, we maybe, if as a society or as people we acknowledge that people are a little more complicated than we like to elevate people up to, I think, yes, ultimately that would overall be a benefit to us. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify specifically what I was trying to say.
No, and again, and to what you're saying, I do have a little bit of an issue with that. And again, not to a conversation we don't want to really get into, but and I'm severely trying to avoid. Martin Luther King, Dr. King did a lot of good stuff. Absolutely, I'm not going to take away and minimize the effect that he had on the movement, right? I would be incredibly fucking stupid, but he in his and maybe I obviously can't talk to him, and obviously I can't reason with him, and I can't fully understand him except for to just hear his account from what has been what's been elevated beyond what, like, 'cause he gave tons of speeches, talked to tons of different people, right? Like, and only some stuff is obviously elevated over than the stuff that we'd like to hear and the stuff that we want to hear. But Martin Luther King, in a little bit of aspect, took the Gandhian ethos, right? Because that was a person that it's well known that he was a fan of Gandhi, right? I so much so don't have an issue with how Martin Luther King, Dr. King, used the Gandhian ethos to achieve the means that he wanted to achieve. Maybe that's the only way he saw as a system that worked in Indian freedom fighting movement and Indian independence, and then thought that he could replicate that. The issue that I have is with the Gandhian ethos. Gandhian ethos requires a audience. It's inherently performative, right? And there is 100% a place in society for a performance where it's much needed because it garners you an audience. But it's the need of an audience that really irks me, right? Like, the route that Malcolm X was going does not require an audience. It requires action, right? It doesn't require a precursor. It requires just a just a will for a fight and for an urge for freedom, whereas the Gandhian ethos requires you to at least have the audience for your performance to be able to have the maximum effect, right? And it's the same thing. It's the how do you ask a person that is starving to go on a hunger strike? It doesn't work. You have to you have to be not hungry for you to be go on a hunger
Actually do
strike.
something
And
up.
right, if somebody is in a village already hungry without an audience, he's always on a hunger strike. It's just there like it's his default. There's no his default is just a default. There's no audience to exemplify that fact, right? Whereas he can go and fight for food, right, or whatever is stopping from him eating. That's the more Malcolm X route. Like, hey, I'm hungry. I'm being segregated against. I'm being beaten. I'm just gonna go take an action. Whereas a Gandhian ethos is more like, well, I'm hungry and I'm being segregated against, but I gotta wait for somebody to see that I'm hungry for me to be able to do something, right? Like
Yeah.
it's this. Uh, it, I'm not saying like it's bad necessarily. I just think it's we pick one over the other because it's somehow socially acceptable. This concept of non-violence, right?
Yeah,
Like that
exactly.
Gandhian ethos exemplifies and props up is just to say, well, no, hold on, you just gotta suffer and just let us know and let everybody kind of know you're suffering, and then maybe we can talk about something, right? Whereas like but you can't really fight back. We gotta still have that dialogue, and you kind of still gotta let us oppress you in the meantime, right? But while you're
Yeah.
still suffering, and then we
Keep
can talk about your
accepting
suffering.
violence. Keep
Yes,
accepting violence, but don't like you can't
you
perpetrate
can't.
it
You
in defense of yourself. You know.
right. It's only violence when you do it. For was when we do it, it's
And that's what we
just
still
a
see.
normal
We
thing.
still absolutely see that 100% today.
We
Like,
see that in October 7th, right? It's
mhm.
only violence when the Palestinians do it or when Hamas does it. It's only rape when it's done to us. But when we have had institutions where we're using dogs as rape torture devices, it's not that exactly. We
Right,
have the
that's
right to
not
do it.
us.
We should be able to do that to you, but you don't get to do that to us. And we can even do worse. We can genocide you, but you can't attack us. We can drop gravity bombs on you every single day, but you can't shoot a small little rocket towards us.
Mhm.
Right? We can't. We don't want to live in fear. And maybe we can kind of like wrap this conversation up a little bit, and then we're kind of already going into um, a different conversation. We can talk about the primary results that happened maybe a little bit before we end. But it's the Mally McMurrow interview with Matt Bernstein, right? Where she's like, where Emma goes, where I sent you the video, where Emma goes, well, should the Palestinians have an Iron Dome? And she goes like, well, nobody should be able to live in nobody should be able to be afraid of rockets being lobbed at you. Well, the Palestinians have always lived under the fear of gravity bombs, 2,000 ton gravity bombs being constantly dropped on them. But like the Israelis that get even a little bit of rocket, but they're still protected by the Iron Dome, so those rockets really don't do anything. They shouldn't be able to live in fear, and it's used as a justification, right? So it's just a little bit of a ridiculousness. But before we end this, what are your what you have any thoughts other than what we talked about so far
Like final thoughts on this topic.
on this topic? Yeah, I thought it was an interesting topic. I thought
I
it was a topic that could expand into like multiple different directions.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, we really only kind of skimmed the surface of this today. I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's an important thing to talk about. I definitely think it's an important thing to bring up because, and we made this point already, but I think what she really hit home in on the video was that these instances of representation may seem small, but not doing so upholds white supremacy, the status quo, patriarchy, all of that. If you don't show, using this specific example, if you don't show young Black children successful Black adults, then they don't know where they fit. And that's not to say everyone, but it's harder to see yourself as an astronaut if you don't see somebody that looks like you as an
Yeah.
astronaut.
Yeah.
You know, female children too. If you
Yeah.
grow up, everybody's saying, you know, you're going to be a wife one day. Isn't that so exciting? You're going to be a mom one day. You want to be an
Yeah.
astronaut, but you don't see any girl astronauts out there. You're like, well, I guess
It's
that's
not
not real.
something
I guess that doesn't
Yeah, that's
exist,
not
you know? So I mean, it feels a little bit like common sense to me, but I know everybody's in a lot different mindsets out there. So,
and another thing is, like, if it wasn't the thing that, like, they didn't want you to care about, they wouldn't spend so much money and so much media on trying to convince you otherwise, right? Like, uh Caroline Levitz just this week posted that little trad vibe, making raw sourdough, feeding her family raw sourdough.
you know,
You
that
know what
was
I mean? Like, they would.
offensive to me. I never want to see anything that looks like that ever again.
I'm just yeah, I don't know how they ate that. It had to still be like chewy.
It looked like AI. I was like, knives don't go through bread like that. You can't just like it's a piece of cheese or something. It's like went right through it.
It looked like cookie dough. It literally looked
Yeah,
like cookie dough.
literally.
So, like, they wouldn't be trying so hard to sell you this trad wife narrative, right? Like, they wouldn't be trying to sell you, well, your place is here and only here. Like, if
Mhm.
that was that was the thing that they were trying to convince you
Same
of, they
thing.
wouldn't
I
be
mean, they
spending so
wouldn't be
much money
trying
on it.
to override affirmative action or kill DEI
Right.
if it wasn't, they're trying to keep everyone in their place and they
In their
don't want
place,
people
exactly.
to
To even know what
they
it's like
don't they
outside.
don't want the world where people
They
just
don't
see
want
people
they don't
of
want black
other
doctors at Yale.
races.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I was kind of having this conversation. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's kind of
You're
just a
fine.
thought I had. With a friend of mine just last week, where I'm talking about law school, and he's like, "You don't need to go to Yale." I'm like, "No, maybe if I get into it, I'm going." He's like, "Well, like, other schools have better connections." I'm like, "Great, sure, they have better correction, but it's still Yale. In a wider society that we live in, Yale word means a lot. So if you're a doctor that graduated from Yale, your prominence is just a lot more. If you're a lawyer that graduated from Yale, your prominence is just a lot more. Maybe other schools have better connections, or blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. It's just the world we live in, right? So if these institutions that we've curated and propped up as these bastions of success, where people of color and minorities are not be able to allow it in, then it just means, like, well, that's just not a place for them,
Mhm.
right? It matters that, like, there's, whether it's by force or by their choice, that there is equal representation there,
So if you want
right?
the society to be filled with Pete Hegseths, we'll
Yeah,
keep going with no representation.
right, right. And again, why does it matter so much that they fight so hard against it? Like, that alone should just send out the red flags, right? Like, we are all human beings. If we are able to, we should just be able to do it. We should just be able to get in there. And they fight against that concept, right? Like, this is the concept that they fight against. Like, well, you may be able to get in here, you may be able to do this, but we're going to stop you anyways. We're going to let somebody else in because we like them better, because they look like us.
Right.
We see ourselves in them, right? Um, yeah, there's not too much. I think we kind of, like, covered a lot of it. I think this conversation can go way deeper than we want to.
I
Then
mean, yeah.
maybe I'm not really equipped to handle it. I'm not knowledgeable enough to handle it. I kind of only said the things that I just feel, me personally, anecdotally, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I thought
Um,
that comment that you made about like the token white character in that kind of conversation, that was an astute observation. Like that was a really good like comment because I feel like people don't talk about that very
No.
much, but it is like it's crazy important because it gets like even if we're trying to tell an important educational story about something horrible that happened in history,
Yeah.
white people are always given an out to not identify and not learn from it.
Django became
Always.
such a big movie, like, when it first came out, right?
Mhm.
You had that German guy next to what's his name? the black actor, I'm forgetting his name, Jamie Foxx.
Mhm.
You know, he was the guy that's allowing Django to do whatever he wants to do, giving him permission and being supportive of Django's fight to
Mhm.
claim his wife and whip white men, white masters, right?
Right.
He's allowing that to happen.
Which
And
is
then
interesting. I mean, to like extend that, I mean, if you look at Twitter comments on stuff about like rights and things like that, a whole bunch of white men will say, "Well, we gave you rights. You should be grateful."
Yeah.
Like particularly, I mean, what I'm looking at is stuff particularly like for women's rights. They're saying like, "Well,
Yeah.
we gave you that. Not that you fought for that, but it's the same thing with people of color. Like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
same belief system is there. Like we gave you those rights. We could
Yeah.
like we decided to end slavery for you. Like
Yeah.
we were
Right.
just feeling nice that day."
Yeah. And so much history is just constantly distorted. I was talking to Cairo just yesterday actually. He was talking to me about like, oh, something about Gandhi. I'm like, you know, Gandhi's not a good guy. Like he's just not a good guy, like, you know. And it's just
Mhm.
something, it's just because we, the people in power, pick and choose um the um
Yeah.
the stories to elevate,
Yeah.
right? Like the stories to show the world, and then to show, because they want you to be able to, they know they're doing bad shit, but they want to be able to like use certain aspect and certain stories to go, well, look at that, we sided with this guy, our president was sitting with Dr. King, or he was allowed in high places. Um um this just, I just watched this, it's well, what movie did I just tell you to watch? Triple Eight Six, right? Or Triple Eights. It's on
Show me
Netflix.
that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a movie. Hold on, let me look it up. Um, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's about Netflix. Triple.
I'm still working my way through When Life Gives You Tangerines. And you
Oh, we
told me
have to
about
talk
that
about
like
that.
months ago.
The six triple eight
Okay.
was the movie about uh the uh, the war effort during World War II. They couldn't get the letters back to their family, so they assigned it to these all black women unit to be able to figure it out. And like, they're all counting on, like, you know, oh well, you're never going to be able to figure it out because you're women, and B, you're black, right? Like
Right, right.
you don't have, because we couldn't figure it out. Our people, our officers couldn't figure it out. There's no way you're going to be able to figure it out, right?
Yeah. It's
But
it's to
there's
set them up to fail.
it's a set them up to fail thing, and it's the task is monumental, but they do it
Mhm.
anyways.
They did it, yeah.
But there's a scene in the movie where there's a family that is waiting for a letter. So the mom goes and waits outside of the White House day and night, rain and whatever, and then Eleanor sees this lady and brings her in, and then like learns just about this story, right? So Eleanor and Franklin call up the general that is in charge of the forces, and tell him like, hey, I need to get this done. And in that scene, there's a black character sitting there that is supposedly close to uh Eleanor Roosevelt during that period of time. So it's just another one of those things. Well, our our president allowed a black lady to go sit in the Oval Office and be able on equal footing to the president and this American war
Mhm.
hero general, right? Like, look how progressive they were. We allowed, and then we allowed this all black unit to go there and like
Which I
allowed them to
that didn't really
succeed.
happen.
Right, right. Like
I
this,
think I think Eleanor Roosevelt, like, I want to say that something that's elevated about her is that she like had uh like her dressmaker was black or something like that. So they were
right,
probably like expanding on that. Like, oh,
exactly.
she's so progressive. She has a yeah,
Exactly, and it happens all the time, right?
yeah.
And like in the movie Butler, right? Like where you see this life of this butler throughout his experience with all the president, and like Jackie Kennedy is like in one of the scenes is like very nice to him, or Laura Bush is just like very nice to him, and like at the end he meets like Obama, right? Like it's like there's these like sort of like subtle things that occur, like, well, no, we weren't like all bad, some of us were really nice, like we were nice to our butlers, you know. It's just the afterthought that happens, and then like the son of the butler is portrayed as fighting in the Black Panther Party and like yelling at his father, like being a bad son, and then eventually like leaves the Black Panther Party and like becomes this upstanding figure, right? Like that's like contributing to society.
Yeah.
It just becomes this
It's
like
propaganda.
ridiculous
It's
thing.
like,
Yeah, 100%. 1,000,000% propaganda. But anyways, so I guess we can end it there. I don't have any more things to say. We could talk a little bit about the primaries that happened.
yeah, sure.
Have you been keeping up with it?
I mean, I know Massey lost. I know what's his name?
Cassidy.
Summer Lee and Chris Robb in
They won.
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Won. So
Bill
we
Cassidy
have some progressives there. I saw that. Yeah, basically anybody who like Trump got Trump pissed off, I guess.
Yeah.
Is out.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Who else? Is that it?
I think those are the real big ones. Yeah. I don't think Cori Bush's happened yet. I know ours are in August.
No. I saw that. Did you send me the thing that said that Jasmine Crockett isn't
No, she got gerrymandered out.
No, I know, but she's not endorsing Cori Bush or something like that. Or
No,
did I
didn't know
see
that.
that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's endorsing his opponent, I guess, which is a pro-Israel person.
Very pro-Israel person.
Yeah.
What's his fucking Bell? Wesley Bell?
Let me look.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, but Wesley Bell got like $4 million, actually maybe more than that. From AIPAC.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, it's insane amount of money that they've got. No way. Like, see, this is what I mean. Like,
I mean, it could have been. It could have been misinformation, but
I'm telling you, I would not be surprised at all. But like we know when the whole Jasmine Tallarico and debacle was happening, right? Like this whole thing was happening. I guarantee you, all the people that were yelling. Again, I'm not a biggest fan of Tallarico myself. Like he's not. Yeah, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, what the fuck is this, dude? It gets so fucking stupid. But we won't yell at her about that. Like when we were saying like she's the fucking Apex stooge, but we weren't like that wasn't crazy, right? But when that whole thing was happening, I really just wanted to ask every person that was defending Jasmine Crockett if they knew who Summer Lee was. Right? When they were playing these idpol fucking games, like when they were playing these idpol games, oh, you just don't want to support black women, or you don't want to. No, I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about that. I love Summer Lee. I think she is great.
I would vote for her for president. Like,
no, fucking close eyes.
Like
Summer Lee button every single fucking time.
Expeditiously, yes.
I would vote for Summer Lee over AOC.
I was gonna say that too, but I didn't want to say that since you showed that person like pitting them against each other, because I don't want to play it to pit them against each other. Like I don't know why we're doing that, But I totally get your sentiment. She's been more consistently progressive.
Yes.
I guess
I'll say. Summer Lee is where, again, I have always loved AOC since the day she stepped into politics. A little bit of criticism here and there, deserved. And she would say that she's deserved, but she is so well liked by everybody, and she understands it because she sets the standard for a lot of the conversation. She has set the litmus test for what it means to be anti-Israel, right? Like she's recognizing it too. she obviously voted against that bill, but that's a whole fucking confusion thing. She didn't really vote for the bill. She voted for the whole MTG amendment. She doesn't like MTG because MTG is a fucking bitch. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, are you defending MTG here, dude? What is happening here? But then she goes in her endorsement. She literally goes, "I would not vote for defensive funding," right?
Mhm.
And that's now the litmus thing. Not everybody has to ask, "Would you vote for defensive funding?" Right? Nobody was talking about that conversation before AOC brought that up. Yeah, people on Summer Lee was introducing bills to ban Rashida Tlaib was, Ilhan Omar was. They
but
are
AOC has the larger following, and she's
It
able to
is-
move the
right.
Overton window.
exactly. But again, and I understand a lot of the sentiment that AOC has, because look at it. She's doing nothing but fucking good things. She's done nothing bad. And that Blake Lively person or whatever her name was, just a random just got shit on. Why? Why was that necessary that you compare Summer Lee to AOC? Like, it doesn't fucking matter, right?
Yeah.
Summer Lee, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, they are clearly much to the
Right.
left of AOC, but that doesn't mean AOC is some far right figure that you're painting her out to be.
Yeah, we don't have to try to take down the most
Most
our
loved,
best shot, basically.
Yeah,
Fucking
literally.
getting anywhere
most-
with the left, with the left.
being the number 4 most popular Democrat in the country, behind Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Zoran Mamdani, and being AOC being the number 4 is not a small fucking thing. As unpopular as the Democrats are today,
Yeah.
you understand? Like, why are you doing?
That's
Why are you doing
that's
this?
a crazy list. Like the Obama, or first of all, Michelle Obama has never held public office. She's
No.
not a politician.
I would not like.
Leave
I-
that
I-
lady alone.
I wanted her to, but the more I've looked into her, and the more I go, yeah, maybe not. Like, I don't want that.
Hey, she doesn't want to, so I just say leave
Don't
that
push
lady
her.
alone. It
Leave
doesn't
that
matter
lady.
what her politics are because she's not running, so leave her alone. You know?
Right,
Like
But people are
Obama's
forcing
not
it
in
on her.
office anymore. Like Mamdani, I get, and obviously AOC, I get. But if we're on the top list, 2 of them being not office holders, a little crazy, but okay.
Is wild.
That's
Is wild.
random.
In terms of favorability, right? No, listen, the Obamas have motion. You can't deny it. It is what it is.
Yeah, obviously.
They got motion.
Obviously, we need some more rising stars over here.
100%. And the fact,
Because
like, you're trying to
stuck.
force,
We're stuck 20 years ago. Apparently.
you're telling me these 2 are rising star. Who likes them? No, the fucking APAC likes them. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Wesley Bell's name until you saw.
That's what I'm saying.
I literally saw this post earlier and I forgot about it. I know who Cori Bush is. You know, I can tell you about that, but like, I don't know.
She didn't have so in terms of like primary spending against the most primary spending, Thomas Massey just got the highest one. You know who 2 highest were before that? Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush. 20 plus million in each primary just to unseat them because they were one of the first anti-Israel people in Congress. I mean, one of the first. Like, Summer Lee was up there too, but they kind of gave up on Summer Lee because she is so well loved in her district. They're like, yeah, we just can't. We just can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. Let it go. And her being in Pennsylvania, which is, again, it's a sort of a purple state. It doesn't need to be a purple state. That's a deep blue state. That's a working class state. Like, Kamala Harris made it a purple state, but that's a whole conversation people are not ready for.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm kind of excited. I really think Cori Bush has a really good chance.
You think she's gonna make it back?
I think she will make it back. I think she is what the Chris Robb race has shown me is 2 years ago when Cori Bush got unseated, APAC wasn't what it is today, right? Like, there was so much media machine that was running to convince, because a lot of the polls that would happen, right? A lot of the polls that would happen right after right after October 7th, or even before October 7th, a lot of the questions that they would ask is, well, do you support Hamas? Do you support Israel? Right? Like one is a country, the other one is this deemed terrorist organization that you've labeled.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
most
not a
people,
fair
like
question to
yeah,
ask.
yeah. Like more, but before you would like even after October 7th or before October 7th, even a year after October 7th, you would go like, probably with Israel. Like I'm not going to support the because you've been
Right.
you're
I mean, that
ingrained.
totally disenfranchises the Palestinian people, like as if they just
Exactly.
like don't exist.
I-
Like,
exactly. But
yeah.
now, after we've seen genocide for 3 years, the most televised genocide for 3 years, even if you just ask the same fucking question, most people go, "Yeah, I'm fucking with Hamas, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, are you serious? I'm supporting Hamas." You know what I mean? Because people have started to recognize, like, oh, Hamas is fighting for the Palestinians who are being genocided here.
Well, even if
Like, right?
they're afraid or unwilling to say that, they are saying, "I won't vote for an APAC-backed
Right, 100%. Like
candidate."
I'm not supporting Israel back to character, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's where the difference comes in. I think Chris Rob's race has shown me Alana Startford or whoever that person was, where she goes like, "Oh, I don't want to say a genocide; it might hurt the Israelis' feelings. Like I don't want to say that." Right? She got fucking
That's
blown out of the fucking water.
actually crazy.
And
Yeah.
then, and on top of that, the person that ran against Chris Rob that had the actual chance, Street, whatever his first name was, Street. I just know his last name, and Chris Street or something. No, not Chris Street, something Street, whatever. Who was campaigned on by Cory Bush and all these other people. The mayor of that city, the governor of that city, even pushed for him. Right? Josh Shapiro pushed for Street to win this. Got absolutely fucking smoked. Got absolutely fucking smoked by Chris Rob.
Nice.
Right? So this
Yeah.
this wave is there.
Yeah.
This wave is there that I am not gonna vote for APAC. I'm just gonna vote for the other guy, right? So I think Cory Bush has a great, really good chance. Um, the only other person that is interesting to watch is the person that I showed you. I don't think you looked into it. Maureen Galindo in Texas 35.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you look into her?
Not really, but
Before we end the stream, let's all familiarize ourselves with the person that possibly might win San Antonio's District 35. Look up Maureen Galindo. I think there's some TikToks of her. Just watch those. You'll love those. That is a very interesting person. She is left, by the way. She's firmly on the left, but in a weird way. Really weird
yeah,
way.
I mean, not everybody. I don't know. What do we think? Do we want to try to find?
Right there, just
this one?
watch hers. Third one.
I'm Maureen Galindo, and I'm still running for United States Congress after last night's primary election. 2 of us are going to the runoff, including me, who got the most votes out of all 4 of us with the least amount of money. Do you want to know how much money I spent on this campaign besides the about $3,000 to get on the ballot, which is ridiculous, a ridiculous amount that just keeps working class people out? I want to do a video on that.
Is she religious? Is that a little Virgin Mary right there?
I don't know.
Just thought.
With the obstacles that I've faced. I've done these campaigns, the city council campaign last year and this one, pretty much by myself, as in like all of the content, the website building, all of my press releases, that's all me. For this campaign, I spent less than $1,500. And I got the most.
Well, that gives me hope.
That goes
Oh, no.
No, I know.
Billions.
I know that
edge
she
I had over Johnny Garcia, who spent thousands
she
and thousands
believes
of
in
dollars.
like she believes in the Jews control the media conspiracy
Yes.
theory. So
Yes.
obviously she's a nut.
She wants to put Jewish billionaires in concentration camps.
Yeah, I saw that. I think the post said she clarified that after as if that was supposed to make it better. But the post, I think, originally said like ICE detention centers should be turned into
yes.
What do you call it? Deterrent
for Jewish
internment
billionaires,
centers
or Zionist billionaires.
for American Zionists,
Yeah.
I believe is what it said.
Yes.
So obviously that's fucked up. We don't put people, we don't intern people just for their belief system.
Yeah.
People who didn't do anything wrong. Like, that's
Yeah.
fucked up, girl. Like,
The
but of course it's led to this conversation of conflating like Jews and Zionists and stuff like that, which I
yes.
don't love.
Which
'cause it
Israel's
takes away
doing
from
itself,
the shitty
though.
thing that she actually said.
But Israel's doing that themselves too, so it's not really entirely all on her. I will say, not to defend her or anything.
No,
like
I'm
that,
not saying that she's
we'll never defend
responsible for that. I'm saying it's
Um,
well, it's not really her. It's like the outside influences that are trying to say like, oh, this statement. Obviously, she's anti-Semitic.
oh, very much so.
Statement, like in itself, like people trying, again, using it as another example to say, oh, look at this anti-Semitic person. They're
Yeah.
conflating Zionism and Judaism. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's like, so she's like fucking the rest of us over who are fighting so hard to be like, they're not the same thing. Like, so
Yeah.
I can try to find something where she actually talks about her beliefs.
Yeah, I'm sure it will not be that hard. So what the interesting thing is too is the Democrats are
Stop
obviously.
telling me I gotta calm down. You're not mad.
Sorry.
That is loud. But the thing is, the Republican Party is boosting her
Yeah, of course they are.
like crazy, with the
Yeah, they
hopes
want
that
a crazy, they want a nut job opponent. Like,
exactly. But here's the weird part: they don't think she will win in the general. I don't know much about this race. I don't keep up with this race. Hassan thinks if she's in the general, she will win.
Really? I mean, her
And
going
again-
to a runoff is pretty wild, but
Exactly. And I think she will too. From my previous, like, again, to continuously, like, the American media
It's
or
called
the
the
American
Greater
people,
Israel Project. So there's really
I don't know.
the American people are much you're not gonna like it because we've already had this conversation. They will listen to Nick Fuentes much more than will listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And she is Nick Fuentes Lakoted throughout.
She's the blue.
The
Nick
left
Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes. That's who she is. Like, that's who she is. And
Great.
people will fall for that. People will fall for that. Right? Because again, like you said, like I said, like, Israel is doing its damnedest best to make this connection that all American Jewish, all they care about is Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if people don't do the next step, go, well, nah, I doubt that that much is true. But then they'll see, like, especially in Texas, the town of San Marco, where they go, well, why are we giving away $4 million to the state of Israel? And then when we say we're not going to do that because we have a ton of potholes in our roads to fix, and then our governor, Greg Abbott, comes in and says, if you divest from Israel, I will take away your state funding and you will not be allowed to get your federal funding.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so many anti-BDS laws in the books against only one state. When people look at that, they go, what the fuck? I thought I had the freedom to fucking criticize whoever I wanted to criticize. I have freedom of speech here. Like, what is happening here? What is going on?
right?
Right? They don't take the next step to think like, well, that's not all Jewish people. No, they go, what the fuck? The Jews might be controlling. They'll listen to her and they go like, fuck, the Jews might be controlling my government. The Jews might be controlling my media. The Jews might be controlling my town. What the fuck? I gotta vote this shit out. I gotta get rid of this shit. What the fuck? I'm American. Right? They don't go like, no, it's not all Jewish people. It's these fucking nut jobs that are continuously blackmailing our politicians and then continuously funding our politicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all Jewish people, but they don't disconnect that, right? They just make that connection and it's just stakes and it's gone. It's done. So they'll become anti-Semitic much faster than they'll go, no, there's a difference between being anti-Semitic and being anti-Zionist. They'll just go one.
I guess we'll have to see.
Oh, we're already seeing it. She's going to the fucking runoffs. If she wins, I'm right.
Okay, she's.
If she wins, I'm right.
I don't think we cannot let this one small district in Texas represent.
This is a
the
congressional
entire-
district. This is a congressional race, brother. This is going to be tens of thousands of people are going to be voting in this one, and it's Texas.
Exactly. It's
Texas.
a
It's a
district in
deep
Texas.
red
We don't have to.
It's a deep red state.
So that's representative of the entire United States.
No, I'm not saying it is. I know, like, majority of the people on the Democratic side, they make that connection. They make that disconnect between anti-Zionism, and you know, and anti-Semitism. On the Republican side, that connection is not made at all.
Yeah,
And
no,
if-
yeah, I get that, but
Okay,
but
it's not
she's
made
not
at all.
appealing to the. Is she appealing to those people?
She will
Are
have
you-
to, and she's going to have to if she's going to win the district.
So she's trying to pick up the far right. I mean, horseshoe theory, bro. I
So,
don't know.
It is. It's the weird. It's the only time this is a thing that is happening. It is so fucking odd. And there is
Okay.
a growing thing that is happening between people are crazy Trumpies, but they're anti-Israel. But as
Oh,
long
yeah.
as Trump
Yeah,
is
no, I
in
know.
power, whatever he says is God. Obviously, with the Thomas Massey rate, like, you know, that much is evident.
Mhm.
But there's like that one podcast that I fucking absolutely hate with Bob and his wife. I can't even. I mean, the wife doesn't even like say her name at all. Like, it's just Bob. Bob takes over the whole fucking thing. Like, they're listening to Candace Owens.
Mhm.
They are as Trumpy as you can get, but they go, there's something a little bit weird about Israel.
Mhm.
And they go like, oh no, medical care needs to be a fucking right. Like,
No,
fucking
it's definitely
red as you can
like
get in Oklahoma is the same as red as you can get in Texas.
It's because it's the complete antithesis of America First, which is the whole point of why they voted for Trump. So it's
Right.
like a little worm in.
So her message is America first. It's, I want healthcare for you. I want give you rights. I want to get these mind controlling Jewish people out of our fucking district.
Right.
It appeals to them. It appeals
So
to them.
how come we can't get people how come it's so much harder to get Zohran Mamdani? Sorry, I can't speak today.
Oh my God. Are you
I,
Cuomo?
I just did a Cuomo. Mamdani. I really did just do a Cuomo. Why can't we get more politicians
Yeah, that
like
tan
him?
is not good for you, brother.
who
That
can
tan is
say-
not good for you. Your whiteness is showing.
Yeah. Now I can't pronounce non-white sounding names.
Oh my God. All right,
Well,
yeah,
now I
go ahead.
totally lost my thoughts.
No,
so.
something about Zohran Mamdani. Something about Zohran. Why
I'm
can't
just
we
saying.
get something
I'm just
Zohran?
saying, like, you would think amongst all this, like, we could get some more progressive leftist candidates out there who have the same ideas but aren't anti-Semitic about it. Like,
No, I think you
they're
can.
just not as appealing to the far right, I guess. So
I think
that's a problem.
no, well, I think again, like, it's the same issues that I'm having here, right? But maybe on a much. Why is it so hard? I'm in a deeply blue state. There is, if you win the Democratic primary, you are shoo-in to win the general election. You don't even have to fucking campaign at that point. Like, once you win the Democratic primary, like, you're gonna fucking win, right? Why is it so hard to get a Zohran Mamdani in Connecticut? I'm 2 miles away. I'm 2 hours away from 2 hours away from New York City, where he is, right? It's because the entrenched power. So it's the Democratic Party in Texas that will nominate somebody, right? They're not going to nominate a Zohran Mamdani. They're not.
No,
just
I
won't do
understand.
it.
Obviously, yes.
So
I definitely understand that.
that's the first hurdle that gets just immediately put in your way before you can
Yeah.
even talk to somebody, right? It's just like there's absolutely a need for a candidate like that, like Zoran. Zoran would do fucking insane numbers if they had the same exact. Okay, it's like this, right? When we talk about China, we talk about socialism with Chinese characteristics. I was listening to a person on TikTok where she's talking about this Middle Eastern socialist person is talking about like you can't just take socialism that Marx was talking about and just go like, well, Marx talks about this. I'm just going to take it and put it in some country in Africa and just like, bam, it's got to work. No, no, no. I don't think that's how it works. You will fail every single time. You have to adapt your understanding of socialism with you gotta like create a DNA, right? Like you gotta create this socialist ideas and mix it with your cultural ideas and intertwine it and connect it with where they all complement each other. You know what I mean? That's how you're gonna have it. So in the South, it's the same exact principle. You're not gonna have the same things that people care about in New York, um, and the same ideas and just copy and paste it on. No, you're going to have to grow somebody from the ground movement. And then Texas, for example, have that same connection. Like, I'm going to give you cheaper this. A racist person still has to eat. A racist person still has to put gas in his car. A racist person still wants to get a house, right? Like,
Yeah.
they still want the same thing that me and you want. You just got to
Yes.
appeal to it. And every single
I
Democratic
guess.
candidate that we
I don't
put
know.
out
I'm losing
doesn't do that.
faith in that a little bit. I was reading an NPR article today.
I'm losing
Interviewing
faith in
people.
NPR in general.
They interviewed. It was a focus group from North Carolina of independents who voted for Biden, but then voted for Trump in 2024. And they were complaining about Trump, saying about the war, about the cost of living.
Right.
But they said they love what he did on immigration and would probably still vote for him. So
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I mean,
No,
that's just they're putting their racism over their own needs. So
No, I think there's
and that's
part
just
of
one
it.
example.
There's part of it is even when you ask that question in their mind, I think subconsciously they go, if I didn't vote for Trump, I would have had to vote for Kamala. Right. And Kamala was just deeply unpopular. The same thing as Joe Biden. They were already unhappy with Joe Biden. Right. Every time a person is asked how we should handle handle immigration, there was a poll that was done before the election in 2024 where they asked would you like to see, they give them two choices. They give them more than two choices, but one of the most popular choices was, would you like to see deportation happens or do you want to see mass amnesty? 81% of people chose mass amnesty.
Interesting.
So it's like, if you're given the option between deportation or amnesty, majority of the Americans, Republicans, are choosing amnesty. We've seen this happen. They've seen this happen. Reagan did it. Bush did it. Bush Senior. They did mass amnesty and it worked great. This was the conversation that I watched a presidential debate with Bush Senior, and he literally goes on stage. He's like, no, they're the same people. They deserve the same rights. This is where the Republican Party used to be. So they are familiar with this concept of it being thing, right? If given between deportation and amnesty, majority of Americans choose amnesty. Right? Kamala Harris gave them, I'm going to give you deportation light or deportation. People are gonna go, why the fuck would I, like, if you're gonna like
Yeah, deportation
what do you
light, yeah.
I'm just gonna do deportation, get them all.
No,
Like,
I
what does it
understand.
fucking matter?
Yeah, I understand. Obviously, that whole campaign was really just kind of a nothing burger. And I think, like, speaking of candidates in the South who have to represent this sort of like socialist ideals tailored to the culture, like, absolutely, totally get that, because the Democrat running in my district right now is she's more progressive than Kamala Harris, but it's still not like,
No.
It's nothing. She's not doing that. She's not embodying that. She's just a regular Democrat.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, I feel like I have to put my support
Never gonna reach
behind
it.
her because I don't have anything else. But
Yeah.
it is hard to kind of be in that position where there's not
But
anybody who I think is going to win, you know?
yeah, but again, here's the thing though. Like it's a simple thing. You as being a Democrat are forced. You don't even like her. Why would the Republicans like her?
Right.
Why would the Republicans like her? You don't even like her. You're
I guess
voting for
so.
her just because you don't want to fucking vote for the Republicans, right? If you like somebody, you there's a lot of politicians, and this is
I mean, I like some stuff that she's done.
yeah,
So.
yeah, of course, but like, and I guarantee you, a lot of Republicans will probably like if you just ask them, like, if you don't name any names to it, you don't just said the policy itself, they probably would like that too.
No, absolutely.
100%. But here's the thing that a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of politicians that are in the game make a mistake, and centrists make this mistake inherently because this is just the way their policies are built into. They fear of making a mistake, like, oh, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to do anything where I have to defend I have to defend my policy because I said something right controversial and it's going to make me lose the votes, and I have to do this and this and this and this and this. Whereas Zoran wasn't like that. He was just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to fucking do this. You're going to just come along for the fucking ride because it's good for you, right? Because he believed in it. He really truly believed in what he was saying. Like, he was willing to fucking fight tooth and nail for it. Centrist Democrats don't. Kamala Harris didn't. She would be like, strong military? Maybe the Republicans like this? Yay, strong military. That's what I'm going to go for. Like, you fucking can't defend it. You can't fucking defend it. Right? Like, if somebody asked her, like, well, would you do something different about Gaza? Even if she wanted to, but she couldn't fucking separate. Like, she could have been like, Joe Biden's my president. I stand behind him. He did with the best he could. But here's how I would do something different. Stand behind your policies. You have to create your own. You have to be the sun. You have to pull. You have to have that strong gravity where no matter what, you pull people towards your side. You pull people to you. You don't like fucking jump around. Okay, what the fuck? Where's the fucking what's Grey's Anatomy coming in here for, bro? Is this something that happened in the Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, Christina Yang says to Meredith, he's not the son, you are. Talking about Derek.
End the stream. End the stream. End the stream right the fuck now. What the fuck, bro?
And that was and then she left the show.
Who left the show?
Christina Yang. She said, he's not the son, you are.
Casey's obsessed with Grey's Anatomy. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about. Do you know the "you are the son" quote with Christina and Meredith?
He's not the son, you are.
He's not the son, you are. She said,
of course she does. Of course.
Yeah. Conversation about politics. Get Grey's Anatomy out of here. You probably think you're a doctor after you watch the whole entire fucking show.
You're the one that said you have to be the son.
I didn't say her fucking quote. 22 seasons and going. Nobody cares. You're not a doctor if you guys to watch the show.
Damn.
You have an MD now just because you watch 22 seasons? Anyways, I'm just saying, like, you have to set your policies, you have to set your compass, you have to set your North Star, and you stick to it. You fucking sail towards that thing, since we don't like my son analogy. You fucking tsunami, rain, hurricane, whatever, you go. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, bro.
All right.
But yeah, that's where centrists can't do it. Centrists cannot do that because they don't even believe in themselves. That's why Mallory McMurrow.
Now I feel like I did that because I toned my TikTok today way down because I was like, I didn't.
Why do you need to?
I don't know why I did that. I was just like,
why, dude? Fucking blast these fucking. We have our beliefs. We stick to our beliefs because you know why? Our beliefs are the correct beliefs. They are, like, we were just talking about it earlier with pedophilia, right? Like, some things are just fucking wrong and some things are just fucking right. And our beliefs are right because we center people. Whenever they go, well, do you think that Israel fucking has the right to exist? If somebody asked me that question, I'd be like, fuck no. People have the fucking rights to exist, dude. Israel fucking doesn't have the right to exist. Do you think fucking the ancient kingdom of fucking Carthage had the right to exist? It's fucking white. People don't even know about Carthage. Fucking, you don't know.
I mean, nobody ever asked about any other. Nobody ever asked about any other countries.
Yeah, does the United States have a fucking right to exist? Does Israel, I mean, fucking Palestine have a right to exist? Does Saudi Arabia have a right to exist? Does Italy have a right to exist? Does fucking
Right.
Germany have a right to exist?
I mean, just walking down the street asking somebody if Italy has the right to exist, they'd be like, "What the
It's
fuck?"
such
are you
like, what the
talking-
fuck are you talking about?
That's
Right.
such a weird question.
Exactly.
Like,
It doesn't.
like you asked that about Israel, and it's just like commonplace.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
people are like,
you know?
"Oh yeah, you
No,
know."
people have the right to exist, and any state that is indiscriminately killing a child every 10 minutes,
Mhm.
every 10 minutes, a child dies in Palestine. That state does
Yeah,
not have the
that-
fucking right to exist, and you
that state
cannot
has to
convince me
go.
otherwise.
I agree.
So why should I temper my belief that is the objectively the most correct belief there
Correct.
fucking could be to make you fucking feel better? But just because you're what? Just because you think you have the right to fucking murder somebody? Fuck no. You're fucking like it's fucking stupid for us to be able to even like think that. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying like that sentiment, and centrists do that all the time. They think they have to do that. Mallory McMurrow, Haley Stevens, Chris fucking Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi. These fucking people think they have to do that because all they want is power. They only care about themselves. They only care about power, which makes them
Yeah.
inherently evil. Because they will fuck everybody over in the process. They will
So they
side
just
with
stand
fascists
for
every single
nothing.
time.
Right.
Yeah, Abigail Spanberger. She will side with a fucking goddamn fascist, do fascist things every single time before she even goes like, oh no, this helps my people and I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Because she only cares about power. She used fucking leftist politics to get in power, and now it's like business as usual. It's just that simple. All right, I think this guy. I think we had a good conversation. It was great. I yelled at you, and that was our norm, and
You did. Yep.
it was good.
Got
Hey,
a little
my position is
worked up.
correct. I don't sacrifice it.
You got a little worked up over Grey's Anatomy there. I don't know what Shonda Rhimes ever did to you, but you hate her.
Is she not a Zionist?
I don't know who everyone who is and isn't
I
a
think
Zionist.
Christina Yang might be a Zionist.
Christina Yang. I don't know.
I think in real life, I think she might be a Zionist. I think I've seen that somewhere.
Sandra Oh.
I want to say.
Damn.
Can we clarify that? Can we look that up?
Let me look. Let me Google it.
I feel like I touched a nerve there for you. It's either she's a Zionist, like a rabid Zionist, or she's like been actively against it. It's something like that. I think she said something like that.
Sandra Oh is not considered a Zionist, and her public advocacy has aligned with efforts to criticize the Israeli government actions in the region.
Okay, so it was the other one around. Okay, so she's been criticizing them.
Damn.
I almost said something crazy.
Misinformation over there.
I said to clarify it. Anyways.
Slandering Sandra Oh.
Guys, it's always a pleasure to join us on Thursdays. We hope to inform you and keep you entertained, and we try to do our best
We
to do
try to keep
that.
it fun over here with light topics like
Exactly.
representation in media and Zionism.
Yes.
Yes.
And we introduce you to fun little characters like Maureen Galindo. So, and I'm yet to make a decision to where I stand with her because I know her opponent is probably a rabid Zionist, so I don't know. Anyways,
Who is her opponent? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't. I just know her because she's so entertaining.
I mean,
But, yeah.
we'll have to look more into the twerking one too.
The twerking one too. What's
Yeah.
okay? I like her. She's a law student. She's using whatever all the tools in her belt to get it going.
She's using what her mama gave her.
I,
Good for her. Good for
I
her.
I support women's rights and women's wrongs. Okay, like it's just what
Why
I do.
is that wrong?
It's
Oh,
not.
what?
It's
You
not.
you can't shake your ass anymore?
You can't shake your ass for votes anymore. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm for it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying people might perceive it as wrong. Me
Mhm.
personally, I fully support whatever she decides to do. Is my point. Shake your ass all day long. let the votes flow in, because clearly she's progressive as hell. Anyways, we'll talk about her.
I wish I had her
In
name.
another
I forget,
episode.
but well, yeah,
Ilana something.
we'll come
I
back
don't
with
know
her
if
name.
We'll come back
and
with her
more
name.
info
We'll watch a
next week,
video
maybe.
of her doing it too. So we got to support our women. Anyways, guys, thank you.
That's
We
it.
will see you guys next Thursday. Catch us on TikTok and other places like YouTube, Instagram.
YouTube,
This,
Instagram. We haven't really been like tweeting or anything. So yeah, those are the three for now.
Yeah, this episode will probably be on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys missed any of it, and if you want to
Yeah,
add
they're
anything,
all automatically on YouTube.
okay. If you want to add a comment or anything, please leave us a comment. We will happily clarify, discuss, and all that other stuff. But again, as well, thank you for all your support, for joining us.
Bye.
All right. Take it easy.